We're joined now by Cal State Bakersfield coach Rod Barnes and student athlete CJ Hardy. We will start by asking Coach for an opening statement and then open the floor to questions. We ask media to please raise your hand and identify yourself and your media outlet before asking your question. Coach, if you would, please start us off with some comments, please.
First of all, I'm always thankful every time I get an opportunity to go through another season. I'm thankful to God. So thankful for our administration for trusting me with these young men, giving me the opportunity to do what I'm so passionate and love to do. Thankful for the young men that played for us this year and the effort. We got a great group of young men, and I'm thankful for that. As far as the game goes tonight, I don't want to talk too much or say too much because I don't want to get fined or being reprimanded. I've been doing this too long to put myself in that situation. Give Santa Barbara credit. They played a good game. They're well coached. They got really good players. And again, I'm thankful for our guys and the way they fought today.
Questions?
Anthony Vasquez, KGT. Coach, it seemed like the team really tried to put a run together late in the second half, but then stuff kind of kept, not going your way. What do you think went wrong there?
You trying to get me reprimanded?
No.
Okay. Again, they made a bunch of free throws at the end of the game and did a really good job of when they needed to make free throws. And I do think, again, they made plays. Their point guard is really good. He was hard to deal with. And I think that was the case. We had a time there that we struggled scoring, which that's been an issue for us at different points of the year. But again, I'm proud of the way our guys played.
Greg Kerr, KBAK TV. Coach, the end of any season, the finality, can you just talk about the feeling of the finality of a season?
Well, it's been a challenge, and I've spoken about that. Whether that's, having some good games and bad games or good halves and bad halves. And as a coach, you always want to put your best foot forward. Again, I'm thankful for our guys because I think they persevered and they continued to fight for us. But as coach, you want the best execution that you can possibly have on a consistent basis. So that was the challenge for me this year, especially down the stretch. Probably the other thing, we had a bunch of injuries here and there that I think it affected us. And even today without Tom Mark, and he's one of our best defensive players and a guy that just make plays that don't necessarily go in the stat sheet. So I'm thankful again. Kadar Waller was hurt. He tried to play tonight. Marvin McGee, I'm proud of him. He was injured tonight. Corey's been hurt for the last 3 or 4 weeks. But again, I'm proud of our kids. And as I told them, I am the one that willing to take the blame. Because again, for me, I've always proud myself on our teams finishing strong. And we had some strong points, but not as consistent as I would like, and we've got to fix that.
And to follow that up, mission accomplished in that you held them to 27% from three-point range. That's what you wanted to do in terms of the transition and just the open threes. And I'm not trying to lead you down a path you don't want to go, but it's hard to outscore a team when they have 3-1 at the foul line. So how difficult is it to win a game like that?
I think you answered your question. Let me say this again. I don't make excuses, for our team. We had our moments. Just when you're disappointed, sometimes. And again, that's why I said I've been in this business long enough to discipline myself to make sure that I don't take away from Santa Barbara or our players. But again, when it's 29 to 12, it is difficult. And again, we still could have had plays that we could have played to win the game. And as I told them, you have to overcome adversity. And again, I'm proud of what our guys have gone through. I think we've learned a lot through this season, in spite of, what may have happened or could have happened or what did happen. You have to continue to move forward. And again, I'm proud of these guys, especially this young man that's sitting beside me, to trust me, to come to our program. and the way that he's carried himself, not only just on the floor but off the floor. There's something about good people. There's something about doing things right. You may not always seem like you win on the scoreboard, but you can win in life.
Coach Gabriel Duarte, Daily Sundial. On paper, it seems like next year you're bound to have a really good returning roster. I know it's hard to speak on the future with this game in your season just ending some moments ago, but can you talk a little bit about the promise next season's looking like if everything goes to plan in terms of roster retention?
Well, I like for things to go as planned for as roster attention. We're in a climate now that, different things. You have another team, and so you lose some guys and gain some guys. I'm hoping we retain a bunch of our guys so that we can continue to move forward. But our culture is our culture. It's who we are. It's what we do year in and year out because our coaches is the one that set our culture. So hopefully we can retain guys. And I can say this, I'll be better. I work all spring and all summer to get better, to make sure that our results are better next season.
Quinn Cisneros, Daily Sundial. This question's for CJ. It's more of a two-part question. When you look back on the season, what do you take away most? And now that the season has concluded, you're going to be entering your senior season. So what are you going to look forward to the most in your senior season?
Looking back, it's just the little things that we weren't able to accomplish. The little things that we let get away from us that could have changed our outcome of this year. And then as far as next year, now it's just back to the drawing board, doing whatever I can whatever it takes to get better, get stronger, be with the coaches inside the gym, and, just going over film for this year just to get my mind right going into the next season.
Coach, I'm just curious, what was the message in the locker room, given that you believed in this team all year, all week, and then having the finality of it and then having a season end, especially for the seniors like Fidelis and Red?
We're thankful. Fidelis and Marvin III and Tom wasn't here. Always thankful, again, for their efforts. They have represented this university themselves and mean well in our program. So you're always thankful. Again, in the moment, you're disappointed and hurt, but also you have to teach life lessons. You have to tell them in the middle of these kind of situations. There was a lot of opportunities we had to turn this season around. And you got to look back, whether it was this game or the last time we played them, and CJ just said, there's 5 or 6, games that we make the right plays. We're not even here tonight. We're in the stands. And I told them that. But I told them the thing is about life is you learned. And we've got to learn from all the things that we did not do right. That's definitely not that we did wrong. I don't want them to exist. I don't want them to be just mediocre. I want them to thrive. And I told them I will always tell them the truth. I love each and every one of them. And we'll always be there for them, whether they're back here next year or they decide to transfer. Doesn't change the way we feel about them. And I reassured them of that. And I told them, who's ever back, we've got work. We got to get better. We got to put more time in. But then I think more than anything, we've got to build a cohesive group, which is really hard to do in this climate, but it can be done because other people are doing it, and we've got to do it.
CJ,
Time for one more question.
first time playing Division I basketball, CJ, how would you rate your first season in this program with Rod Barnes, who gave you that shot?
Can I jump in there? He's great. He's great, but I'll let him answer.
This year, it was ups and downs, but overall it was a great experience. Coach Barnes believed in me from the jump, and I believed in him. And throughout this whole year, he's been pushing me to be the best I can, and that's what I was just striving for. So overall, I think, I had a pretty solid season, but now I'm just looking forward to next year and getting better.
Sorry, one more in the back. One last one? Yeah, go ahead.
CJ, down the stretch, you got to the rim a couple times. You got as close as 4. As a competitor, what's it like to walk off the floor with the season ending?
It hurts. Now, not only for me, but I'm hurt for the guys that was here before me, the seniors. You know, they put so much work into it, and, you know, we just end up coming up short for them tonight, especially Tom, for him not be able to be here. It was hard, you know, just walking off the floor knowing that he wasn't able to play in his last game.
Thanks so much for your time. We appreciate it.
Thank you.